What's up, guys? Welcome back to Verified Profits. I'm Eric and I'm here to give you the Week 7 UFL VP Power Rankings and all 4 game picks. Who's going to win all 4 games, all 8 teams. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. I'm going to give you the VP Power Rankings and then give you the full rundown of each team in all of the game picks. You'll see all the reasons why they stack up, how they stack up. Spring football UFL Week 7 VP Power Rankings. Let's go. Run it. Number 1, all day on top, DC Defenders. Staying at number 2, Orlando Storm. Moving up 2 spots from last week into number 3, St. Louis Battlehawks. Dropping down 1 spot again. Number 4, Dallas Renegades. Flying up 1 spot from last week into number 5, Columbus Aviators. Dethroned 2 spots down. Number 6, Louisville Kings. Coming out the basement again into number 7, Birmingham Stallions. And staying sub-level at number 8, the Houston Gamblers. And remember that these rankings add in all of the coaches' strengths, their styles, quarterback consistencies, defense, dominance, special teams. Everything is incorporated. The energy levels, the vibes, the things you can hear, how they communicate, matches up overall strengths and weaknesses. It's much more than just stats, and it's much more than just standings. Results from week 6, not too bad. We did think that the Kings were going to maybe have a chance being home dogs. If the Kings secondary could have even caught one of those dozen dropped picks, the whole game would have been different. They ain't got no hands. Louisville lost its crown. For game 2, the Aviators flew to a victory. It was another grindy, heavy run game and a lot of defense. More points for this rematch, though. Pretty good. And Todd Haley, whoo, let's go. The DC Defenders destroyed the Renegades. I thought Dallas was going to have a little bit more of a chance, but we had DC to win it. And the last game last week, Birmingham. That's just like some poetic, full-circle DTR story. I won't be surprised if they lose the rest of the season every game. Because, yeah, the Storm, they should have definitely taken that. I don't think the Storm's that bad, but whatever. We're on to week 7. Full season results are still in the green. Let's go. Cash it. Before we head to the game picks, make sure to hit the like buttons, comments, see what you like about it, tell me what you hate, share with your friends, let me know what teams you think are dominant and what teams are bottom barrel. Time for the UFL Week 7 Verified Profits Game Picks. Ready? Game 1. Let's go. First up, Game 1, Friday night at 8 on Fox. Columbus Aviators going to play the St. Louis Battlehawks. That's going to be a good one. Columbus Aviators, they are so fun. I really like that team. Offensive coordinator Todd Haley, that dude is so cool, hilarious. He's calling out his players, "You are a maniac, I love you." It's so cool. And he's all twerking in the locker room with his team. That is like some real cool culture building camaraderie. That is a recipe for success. I like it, Haley. Keep it going. Aviators' offense is insane with controlling the time of possession. Their first opening drive last week was like 8 minutes. It was over half the first quarter, and they still got points. It's just so insane how they can gruel a game. They can just grind. Real gritty. They've got a solid running back crew, and their quarterback's got legs. Quarterback Jalen McClendon, that dude's got some good slinging darts, but he also throws some real nasty near picks. Little dangerous, but he is dialing it in. Their starter running back John Lovett. Ooh, that new dark visor, that looks so good. We love it, love it. Right out the gate, scoring a goal line tud. And of course, running back Toa Tawa, that dude butterballing big plays, and he's got hands. One of my favorite players to watch of all football, running back Zaquandre White. That dude is so fun to watch. He's got this high motor, infectious vibe. Everyone you can tell is feeding off of it, and he keeps producing week after week. High energy. That's what I like. And for Columbus to be a run-first team, they've got solid wide receivers. Kiki Chisholm, that dude, super electric, dangerous yards after the catch. Yak, 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 yak. Got Tay Martin, clutch, top target. He gets a lot of production, a lot of opportunities. How about wide receiver Wells Jr.? That dude, so electric. I told you. Electric. The defense is pretty solid. The run stop, pretty good. Their pass rush, flushing pockets and sacking cubes. Their secondary can give up a little bit, but they can seatbelt. A lot of pass breakups and real nice picks to end games like last week. If he took that interception at the end for a big, full, long, tutty pick six, it would have hit the over. We had the under, so yeah, we cashed that. That was good. I was like, no, go down. Get down. So silly. He could have probably taken it too. For the St. Louis Battlehawks, that team, they got some solid fans. They're playing at home. It's going to be a super great game. We got the Battlehawks #1 run defense against the Aviators #1 run offense. That's going to be a great matchup. Last week, the Battlehawks, super low scoring, slow game. They were getting really chippy. Chippy McChipperson chippy. So much chippiness. A lot of personal foul penalties. They kept the score 16-3 at the end. And honestly, if the Kings secondary would have even caught one of those dozen missed, dropped picks, they would have totally flipped the game. Kings had a chance, but they just kept dropping them picks. Which is why, if they start Frost, I do not have a lot of faith in that. Their OC, AJ Smith, that dude's so much better than what his quarterbacks show. Head coach Ricky Prohl and that Dan Campbell of the UFL energy, his whole squad's got it. The whole coaching tree. Harrison Frost, too inconsistent. He could perform, but also scampers a lot. But he has performed in spots that he needed to, and he helped us cash in earlier this season. I'm just not as bullish on the Battlehawks' offensive passing game right now. And the run game is really lackluster. But of course, you got some solid wide receivers with Yaquib Butler. Dude can high point, screen pass, 75 yards, tud. Yeah, he can do it. And McBride, that dude can high point tutties all day. The Battlehawks defense leads the league in sacks, and they had 4 sacks in the first half last week. Insane, super strong, sacking cubes. They are a pretty solid defense. A little inconsistent on the offense. Going to be playing against a run-first team that likes to run the clock down. Battlehawks' new kicker missed an extra point. You know how we feel about that. So for game 1, super solid matchup. The #1 run offense against the #1 run defense. But I'm going to take the Aviators. I like them Avies, and I think this is a pretty solid matchup, so the score is going to be super close. The under might hit. Sorry, Kaka Nation. Your team's good, but the Aviators are going to fly and leave the Battle Squawks grounded. Game 2, Saturday at 1:30 on Fox. Louisville Kings heading over to play the #1 DC Defenders. Wonder who's going to take that one. Let's talk about them Kings. Louisville. Man, if their secondary had any hands, they ain't got no hands in it. They really could have flipped that game. It would have been a whole different story. Home dogs should have taken it, at least covered. Kings, dethroned, lost that crown. At home, offensive coordinator Steve Logan, that dude can dial it up, but his offense just cannot execute. Quarterback Chandler Rogers, that dude lit it up early, but regressed real fast. Threw a super critical pick in the 4th quarter. Running back ex-Jag James Robinson had 2 huge runs, called back for holding. That was just silly. They should have kept it going. James Robinson, more like James Robinson, because they robbed him of them big gains. Because he is a big dog alpha mode weapon. Wide receiver Lucky Jackson, super clutch on 3rd down. And wide receiver Tariq Black. Woo! We like that dude. There's a lot of hype around him, and he's living up to it. They got a pretty explosive tight end with Davidson, but their offensive line gave up 5 sacks in the first 3 quarters. Could be Chandler's fault, though, too. Kings defense came out strong. Defensive coordinator Jamie Sharper, that dude knows how to call some plays. Pass rush for the Kings is pretty strong. Turned it up a little bit last week. Secondary had some chances, but they dropped a lot of passes that should have been intercepted. That would have totally changed the whole game. And how about DC Defenders? That team is so top tier, coming out strong and staying strong. dominating the entire game. Super productive in the first half, 24 points. But then took it easy, kind of stalled out in the second half. Quarterback Jordan Tatum, who I told you he's dual dangerous, rushing tud on the first opening drive. Throws some dimes. He's a little bit of a surgeon. Can throw some nice passing tuds too. Wide receiver Ty Scott, Tud Scott. Dude's a road runner. Super fast. And a little bit underrated, the wide receiver Braylon Sanders. That dude knows how to find the open spaces and exploit defenses. How about wide receiver Powell, one hand, tutty beast? Yeah, that dude is sweet. Even their tight end Fairchild getting in on the tud game. DC defensive coordinator, top tier, upper echelon, high quality energy. You can tell he gets that defense fired up. I'm surprised he's not out there on the field. And of course their secondary can come up with interceptions like it's nothing. Turnover beasts. Kicker McCrane, the golden toe, baddie. Kicking from 100 yards, bring it. So for game 2, we expect DC defenders to dominate the Kings. Game 3, Saturday night, 8 o'clock on ESPN. Dallas Renegades heading to play the Birmingham Stallions. Dallas Renegades. Now this team has been on a losing streak. Started with the Aviators. Super slow, grindy game. They controlled the time of possession. Dallas barely had any possessions for the offense, and they just got gashed on the defense. All their defenders, it was like every single one of them was dropped like flies, man. And Columbus took that game. The next game was a turnover nightmare. So many interceptions. And then the third loss was against the number 1 DC defenders. So most teams are going to lose. Now this is why I'm not so bearish on Dallas yet. I'm going to give them another game, another week. See what they're going to pull off, if they can redeem themselves. But if that's another turnover nightmare, oof, Dallas has an uphill battle to try to stay playoff worthy. Dallas head coach Neuheisel, great dude. He seems to know how to get on the players' level, relate to them, elevate them. He's a mental beast. Last week when they lost to the defenders, Dallas did have some strength. DC didn't score as many points as they normally do, but they did kind of take it a little easy in that second half. Overall, I don't think the Renegades did as bad as most teams do against the number 1 defenders, because their offense is fire, super top tier. Wide receivers got hands, tight ends, skyscrapers. Renegades defense does have some good pass rush, does cause some turnovers, but the Renegades have just been on a bad streak. The score would have been a little different if their kicker Theaker didn't miss 2 field goals in the first half. And how about them Birmingham Stallions pulled it off? Orlando seemed to kind of give it to them a little bit because they fumbled right on the opening drive. Birmingham 2 plays, tutty, and then right back-to-back 3 and out for the Storm. Stallions, another tutty. So they were up pretty quick, with the final score only being 20-17. Seems like AJ McCarron's working on them low vibes. Still a little too low energy. Not quite looking like a motivator. Quarterback DTR. Man, I think maybe Birmingham would a little bit full circle. DTR, poetic justice. Team didn't start him, got traded, and now he's a starter and he beat his old team. But the thing about it, he started whining at him. You should have picked me. You should have started me. That was silly. I think that kind of energy, that kind of karma, not good. Makes me think Birmingham's not going to win another game all season. You can't just behave like that, DTR. That just shows your character. It's just not a good look. He can throw some dimes, but he can throw some real nasties. I really like that running back, Ty Davis Price. That dude's pretty underrated. I'd be watching him. Wide receiver Justin Ross. That dude's pretty solid. And I love Mickens, but he got a little too sassy. Taunting the Storm real nasty. Unsportsmanlike, but he's got that high energy. Hard to slow that down. The secondary gave up some big passes last week. Wide open ones. And their DBs still can't catch. They ain't got no hands in it. Had a lot of miscommunications. A little too inconsistent to be elite. So for game 2, we're going to take the Dallas Renegades to ride to a dub. Stallions gonna lose it. And game 4, the last game of the week, 6 o'clock on FS1, Orlando Storm heading over to play the Houston Gamblers. Last week they lost at home to the Stallions. It was really their fault for turning the ball over on some fumbles. Head coach Anthony Becht, he was not liking it. He really did light a fire, though, because they started producing after he said something. The quarterback Plummer, that dude's pretty good, but he does throw a lot of real risky nasties. Luckily, Birmingham's defense ain't got no hands. We like their running back, Jay-Sean Corbin, but he just cannot ever get to that second level. They just stop him every time. They stack against him, or maybe he's just missing these reads. Got to work on that ball carrier vision, but he is a solid dude. These Orlando Storm wide receivers are so clutch. They are electric. You got Rolling. That dude's like leading the league in receptions. KJ Hamler, dude, lighting it up. Clutch, third down hands. They just got to get the ball to him, Plummer. Tight end Bowman. That dude was stiff arming. Like 3 stiff arms, one play, just blowing him over. Just knocking them down. And we really like the Storm's defense. Their run stop's pretty solid. Pass rush forcing quarterbacks to flush the pocket, sacking cubes. They've got Isaiah Buggs, the running back ragdoller. That dude's a beast. Their secondary can come up with some picks, but they're a little exploitable. They can give up a little bit, but they're real sticky. Really, I think the Storm just kind of beat themselves. And let's talk about the Houston Gamblers. They started quarterback Nolan Henderson. Dude had a big scamper on the opening drive. Got a little limpy after that. Was a super lackluster first half, and then he got benched at halftime. And what do you know? They brought out the Houston Scrambler himself, Talia Tagovailoa. And guess what? He got sacked on the first play. He did throw a tutty, but he also had a real nasty scamper, scramble, fumble. That ball might be too big for his hands. Talia had a real chance at a game-winning drive, but he got sacked and injured, squanched. Hunter Deckers, who's already banged up, couldn't come in, so they brought in like a wide receiver quarterback, Kirkland. That was a real ugly ending to that one. But they got a good running back there with Major. He could slice and dice getting them tutties. The run stop was not very strong last week, but they showed up a little bit towards the end. And their secondary ain't got no hands. So for game 3, we're taking Orlando Storm to take the dub. So there you have it. Ready for week 7. VP power rankings and all 4 game picks. Now maybe you understand a little bit more why I got these teams stacked where they're stacked. And I'm not giving up on some of those top tier teams just yet. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. You are awesome. I really appreciate you. Make sure you hit the like, follow, subscribe on the YouTube, comment, let me know what you think. I love it. And I'll be here next week to give you the rundown of all 4 games, all 8 teams. Every team, every game, every week. Make sure to check out my music project called Peninsulas. It's the background music to these videos. Appreciate you guys. And I'll see you next week. UFL Spring Football Verified Profits. Run it. Let's go. Peace out.